that. Good. Jess reckons this woman who's got 2 boyfriends is you should be standing up for your own. She's allowed to have 2 boyfriends as long as she doesn't hurt anybody. Can I have my coffee? What are you waiting for, Ruby? Come on, hun. What about the letters, Ash? Thank you, love. Thank you. These are the letters on tonight's show. Beautiful panellists in tonight. First letter, we've been together for 12 years, have 2 kids, but have run out of common interests and anything much to say to each other. Thank you for that wonderful letter to start the show. When did it become acceptable to any Australian that we would employ KGB tactics on kids? Or adults, for that matter. And the last letter tonight, my laid-back brother, who's never taken an interest in politics, has suddenly taken notice because Senator Jackie Lambie is making him laugh with all of her sexy remarks. I don't think so. All the panellists in with their views very shortly. Don't go away. Sweet and sour in about 20 seconds and my coffee in between. See you later. See you soon. Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour. It's time for Sweet and a terrific audience in tonight as well. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour. Who have we got on the show tonight? They're all lovely. My favourite to start with, hello, Mon.
Oh, well, hello, Gary.
We've done television for years together now.
We certainly have. We should be getting better, but...
What can you do? We don't do it that often, mate. What are you doing now?
I work as an event manager.
Oh, perfect.
And I'm doing some, business stuff on the side. Helping people get healthy, Gary.
Helping people get healthy?
Yes.
OK, I might need some help in that regard as well. Great to have you back.
Lovely to be here.
First time on the show.
Yes, thank you very much. Yay, thank you very much.
You're a broadcaster from way back.
I am. I'm a Perthite from way back.
And then what?
Who went east, but now I've come back.
Why did you go east?
Because there were no jobs here.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Early 90s, state of play was nothing.
And now you've come back and you're married to a mate of mine as well.
I am.
Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Is he going to be sitting back taking
He will be, and he'll be critically analysing all of us.
Excellent. Hello, Pete. How are you, mate? Speaking of mates, hello, Suzie.
Hello, darling.
We're not allowed to mention that little...
No, but you can mention anything to do with my new website, which finally, after 10 years of being in practice, I have one.
That's the first time you've actually had a website?
Well, yeah, because I've had 2 different practices, but in this practice...
Do you need a website?
Well, I think so. We went live on the night of the awards, which we picked up 2 awards.
Congratulations.
Yes, it was very good. So I'm very excited with the website. So, but I mean, I'm pretty useless at social media and I keep getting told I should get better.
You need other people to do it for you then.
Well, I know. I don't really understand it. So
Anita, do you have a website?
No, I wish I had a website. That'd be fun.
You don't have a website?
I've got a few pages, like stuff.
Oh, you've got pages?
Stuff, but not an actual website.
OK, you've got pages on Facebook?
No.
Where else can you have pages?
I've got a Star Now page.
A what?
A what? Star Now page. It's not important.
What is that? What's a Star?
Star Now page.
A Star Now page?
And that is all. I do need to
What's
probably get a website up and running. I need to get onto that.
OK, how's the dancing going?
Yeah, good. I just started at John 23rd, the Year 10 students learning a little bit of ballroom dancing.
I want you to teach me. Don't worry about the students.
They're great. It's
I've
fun.
got 2 left feet. I need some lessons urgently.
You're actually quite a good dancer, Gary.
How do you know?
Because I've danced with you.
Thank you. Dawn of Yawn coming up. Hi, panellists. I'm sure this is one of those letters you receive all the time in various forms because it's such a common problem. We've been together for 12 years, have 2 kids, but have run out of common interests and anything much to say to each other. I'm sure we still love each other. I'd be devastated without him, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to try life without me. At least I hope as much. I simply don't know how to even begin to spice things up. Every time I make a suggestion, he just looks at me for the longest time and then nods his agreement in a manner that suggests he doesn't have a choice. We love our kids and do anything and everything for them. Perhaps we lost our spark when, without thinking, we devoted ourselves to them. Now we don't even like the same movies, music or people. A couple of years ago I started planning our wedding, but now it seems my partner has very little interest in hearing about any of it except to offer the same stare and nod. Given that this is such a common problem, do panellists think we're poised to become a statistic to be added to the relationship scrap heap? Am I overly sensitive and everything is just fine? Or am I just missing the necessary approach to fix our communication and relationship energy issues? I'd really appreciate some insights and constructive suggestions. As we said, Dawn of Parkerville in WA. OK, Mon, what do you do here? Is your relationship still spicy?
Absolutely.
How long have you been together?
There's a reason why. 12 years.
Ooh, so has Dawn.
So I have some tips for my friend Dawn.
How long ago did you get married though?
4 years.
4 years ago, OK.
Yeah.
Well, they're still not married. Dawn is still not married, yet they have an abundance of kids.
Yeah, I feel like they've done that the wrong way around, but no judgment. Dawn, 3-step plan for you, love. Step 1, recognising there's an issue. If you think you're going to be a statistic, then chances are you will be. So you've got the chance now to change your future. Step 2, become best friends with your neighbours. Step 3, hand children to neighbours and go on a date every week with your husband.
Oh,
start to communicate.
That's why you become best friends with your neighbours.
Yes,
sorry,
it's all
I had
part of the
other ideas
3-step
happening
plan.
there for a moment. I was thinking, you know, you're spicing it up that way.
That's step 4, plan B. But we're not going there yet, Dawn. I think you can do this. I think you can work together because you've got the right foundations there. So you need to spend some quality time together in order to be able to start communicating and developing the similar interests. And then with that will come intimacy.
Hope for this couple?
Mon, I hate to disagree. Dawn, welcome to suburbia. This is as good as it gets. Mon is just putting the gloss on it. However, you may remember the movie 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Why do people have a wedding? When you run out of things to talk about? Plan a wedding. You give lots of things to talk about. I know you say your partner's not interested, gives a nod and a stare, but it's up to you to bring those magazines back and do those invitations and have those arguments and do it. But love, this is as good as it gets. Welcome to life in suburbia, as I said.
Oh, OK, as good as it gets.
Well, I've got 2 responses for Dawn.
You got 2 responses. How long do you think the show is?
First thing is, get the book, The Sex Diaries by Bettina Arndt. It is the
Sex
funniest
Diaries.
book. She was lambasted for Sex Diaries, but essentially what she's saying to women who have got children, have sex. You'll enjoy it, and you will then find that connection. She also talks a whole lot about how what we become when we've got children, and we forget. We forget where our essence is and what we fell in love with.
Do you
with
forget
our
to have
partner.
sex?
Yes. You're too bloody tired.
Yes,
and you know
I
what?
know.
And what she talks about in the book, which is just hits everyone with children. She said, your friend rings you at 9 o'clock at night. You'll spend half an hour if they're distressed talking to them. Your husband wants 6 minutes of your time, and you're too tired. Let's look at the person who's supposedly your best friend and give them 7 minutes.
6 minutes.
But I've got a little. The second
What's
part.
so long?
The second. Oh, well, 7 minutes. The second part of this story was the fact is what you need to do, Dawn. I know you're in Perth. You need to book a night at the Crown. You need to use your neighbours, get your kids looked after, and organise to go in at 2, have some champagne, a little massage, have the sex before you go out because you'll feel better. Go and have a fantastic meal. Come home, have a rest. Because what happens is if you go and do a date night every week, all you do is you fight. Because you go there, you're tired, you're going, and you fight over, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. You need to make it a 2-day or a 24-hour thing where you actually go in and you relax and you don't talk about children.
And if that doesn't work, you can go with the neighbour that you've just met from the suggestions.
Well, that's the truth.
And then give us the rep on this one for poor old Dawn of Parkerville.
What made you fall in love with him in the very beginning and vice versa? If you can tap into those, what gave you butterflies when you first met and maybe surprise him? Think back to the early days and see if you can maybe reenact the things that you used to do. You know, what is it that he really loves? What are his passions in life? And
sex. That's all he wants.
Yeah, go back and just revisit where it all started, because it started somewhere.
There you go. 4 wonderful comments from 4 wonderful ladies who are all very happy with their partners. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the KGB, probably a continuation of the same thing. KGB at your place? No. When we come back, don't go away. See you soon.
That is
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the address that's appearing on your screen right now, which is Sweet and Sour. No, it's not. It's letters at sweetandsour.net.au. I know it very well. Thank you very much. We've also got a website. www. You don't have to say that anymore, do you? You just go sweetandsour.net.au. You can give us a like on Facebook and even tweet us there as well if you want. And for everyone who does and gets their letter read out, we're going to send you to the movies courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending you to this week is Magic in the Moonlight, and I'm glad I wrote that down on a page that I don't have in front of me. Terrific. Here we go. Coming to us from Mary of Salisbury in South Australia. Dear Mitch and panel, I'm a huge believer in stopping the boats. I have compassion for the plight of the persecuted and real refugees, but to put life in peril is ridiculous. Well, that's one issue, significant at that, but to have Vietnamese refugee kids who have been settled into the community and attending high school forcibly whisked away in the dead of night without notice, stealing them away from their school community and friends, and to leave teachers, friends, neighbours to worry sick and wonder as to their whereabouts is just plainly wrong. Yet this is what the federal government chose to perpetrate on these kids who attended Woodville High. It's wrong on so many fronts. These kids have been returned to detention centres in the Northern Territory. They had done nothing wrong. They are kids, for goodness sake. They had diligently attended school every single day from the beginning of this year without fail. They were happy, healthy and exceptional students with an extensive group of friends. When did it become acceptable to any Australian that we would employ KGB tactics on kids? What does this say to the whole community? What does it say to Aussie kids who are friends of these unfortunate two children who had done nothing wrong and had been model students? When did it become acceptable practice for anyone to be removed by the government agencies simply because of a change of policy? Have we learnt nothing from the trauma suffered by our stolen generations? Is this cruel behaviour acceptable because they are boat people? What is wrong with us? Where has our human compassion gone? As I said, Mary of Salisbury in South Australia. Anita, compassion for these two kids who were whisked away.
There was none. It is unacceptable the way they were just taken away like that, especially when Scott Morrison actually they were told that the kids did nothing wrong, that it was just a decision that they had decided that it wasn't in public interest anymore, so just take them away. When they were already settled, it's probably done more damage to those children
and to their friends.
Well, to the friends and then the others that have now left out of fear, and now they've breached their.
The others who were in that school have run off.
There was 11.
And they ran off?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
From the house. They've now run off and...
They were all orphans.
They were orphans, were they?
They were all orphans and they were put together. Actually, they were sort of billeted. And the police came and they took these two. When they came home from school, they were at the door, they took them away. They didn't tell them where they were going and they didn't tell anyone else where they were going. So the 11 others have gone into hiding.
We don't do that in Australia.
It's absolutely
we don't have those
appalling.
tactics.
It's bullying by the government.
Well, it is by a government agency, but it just seems like there wasn't proper instruction given out to them.
No, it's because there was a change of policy. It actually happened because of the change of policy.
But you can be nice about affecting your policy.
Well, they didn't. I mean, these...
All right, give them notice, let them know, let them tell the school community.
Since the change of policy,
guys, this is what we're going to do for you. You can sell it much better.
Well, the interesting thing is, and what I think is so amazing about this story, is that Woodville High, which is a multicultural high school in Adelaide, in South Australia, have actually set up a petition under change.org, and it's called Bring Our Boys Back Home. And if you actually click on that, you can actually join the petition. They needed a certain number and they've already got thousands of people.
I'd be signing that.
And it's quite amazing. But the interesting thing is that I agree with this writer, because I do think it's about boat people. And I just gave a stat before that 32 times more asylum seekers arrive by plane than by boat. And when those asylum seekers are found to not have the correct visas when they arrive by plane, they're actually released into the community and nothing more is said. They are not sent to an island, they're not put in a detention centre. So I do think it's about boat people, and I just think it's appalling. These kids are actually in school and they were A-grade students and they were attending every day. So it's disgusting.
Karalee?
Yes. Well, look, I'm pretty strong on boat people, and I do think that a lot of people are economic refugees and they're taking a place away from a genuine refugee in an overseas refugee camp.
That might be the case, but these kids don't fit that category.
No, well, but we don't know the full story. We don't know the full story.
They're not economic refugees, they're orphans.
How did they get here in the first place?
They were in detention centres for a time.
And how did they get to the detention centre?
But it's an interesting question because they're Vietnamese kids. I thought the age of Vietnamese boats had stopped, 25, 30 years ago.
Look, it is sad, but there's always a story behind a story. And the media spins it in a certain way.
Well, agreed with that, but the issue here is that whether they were boat kids, Vietnamese, or whoever it is in our community, we don't employ, as they say here, KGB tactics on anybody.
Do you know what? There'd be a lot of Australians out there that are probably pleased that they have, because we're seeing.
Well, I don't have any sympathy with them at all.
Well,
they're pleased that they affected that.
There's a 16-year-old kid who are at school.
But night after night on the TV news, people watch this, people see people putting their kids on boats and they're horrified as to what they do. And there comes a point where
the kids are already here and they're settled. And this is a change of policy. And this is just sending the guns in on kids.
After the appeal will be heard and then those kids will be able to go back.
I understand the process, but the error has been, in my view, doing this to anybody. It doesn't matter what their plight was, doing it to anybody. We don't do that in Australia.
No, no, we don't. But I think we're a soft target for many things.
Another issue, but possibly yes. Mon.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gary, and just in terms of this isn't how we conduct ourselves in Australia, and I think that on a world scale, it's embarrassing, and I think we need to be more conscious of the way that we're treating people. We associate and align ourselves with charities like Amnesty International because of organisations and political groups that are treating people badly, and then we are happy to treat people like this that are on our soil.
What right have we got to open our mouth if we go and do this?
Exactly. We're petitioning to say free these refugee women and get these people out of jail, yet these are people, worthwhile citizens being a part of a community.
They're not citizens yet. Be careful.
Well, what are they called? They're people, they're humans, and they're
that's right,
they're young
and that's
people.
the issue. We lost our humanity in this one. That's the issue.
I think that's exactly the issue. And we only take 3% of the total refugee population to industrialised countries.
That's a whole bigger issue, and we've got to go. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Jackie Lambie at it again. Thank you, Mary of Salisbury, for a good letter. See you soon.
Wait, are we starting? I don't know my line. I'm not ready for this. So, where's boobs? I love them.
Welcome back. Hi, panellists. So our new Palmer United Senator, Jackie Lambie, wants a man with a heap of cash and is well endowed. Yes, I can take a joke as well as the next person, but lowest common denominator gutter gossip is not the sort of conversation I expect from an elected parliamentarian who represents us and is charged with the responsibility of promoting our national progress. Thankfully, she is not the only one charged with that responsibility. I voted for Clive Palmer's party in the Senate, and to be quite frank, I've been delighted with his stand to keep Tony Abbott and the government on their toes. In many ways, he has filled the void vacated by Don Chipp's Democrat, and is keeping the bastards honest. If Meg Lees and Andrew Murray had stayed on the sidelines in the GST debate and had not got into bed with John Howard, the Democrats would still be around. They're gone, and now Clive holds the reins. As I see it, his associate, Senator Lambie, is a total embarrassment to Tasmania, Palmer United and the Australian Parliament. My laid-back brother, who has never taken an interest in politics, has suddenly taken notice because Senator Lambie is making him laugh with these gutter remarks. Surely we need to develop some yardstick to prevent these buffoons entering Parliament. Surely we can raise the bar. How can we get rid of Senator Lambie and the ridicule she brings to Parliament? Nikki of Liverpool in New South Wales. Suzie, do you like her?
Well, no, I don't like her, but that is our parliamentary process, and that she's one of these people that has been elected, in our Senate election. It scares me that she's there for a number of years, to be honest.
8 years of Jackie Lambie.
I have to say, I just think that Palmer must be going, yay, we've got Jackie Lambie. She can take the heat while I do all this backyard dealing. And I actually wonder whether any man would have been asked, a senator, whether what do you like, want in a romantic partner? I mean, it's a bit like Gillard being asked, is her husband gay? I mean, men don't get asked these, and I just think in this situation, no, they don't. Not a senator. No, they don't. I mean, Lambie.
Not a senator.
The difference.
That's right.
Though she volunteered.
No, but she was asked. No, she wasn't actually. She was asked what she looked for in a romantic partner. That's what she was asked, and she went out. I mean, the difference between Gillard and Lambie and how they responded to stupid questions was that Lambie just doesn't have any experience. She has no media training, and she's obviously not too bright. She's trying to make a big oomph. She wants to go out. She wants to say all this stuff, and I just think that unfortunately, she's going to be the media's muse for the next 8 years, or if she lasts that long.
Anita, do you like her?
No, I listened to the actual full interview online the other day and it was cringeworthy. I was embarrassed for her. The things that she was saying, I mean, yes, you can make a joke, but she just went too far and it was disgusting. It really was, especially from a Member of Parliament.
They do say, though, that you get, in Parliament, a reflection of your population.
Yes.
How big a proportion of our population does she reflect?
Well, probably a big part because there is a lot of stupid people out there, and the sad thing is she probably will get a following because of this. Bad publicity is the best publicity, and when when it's with the media, it's whatever can give you the most ratings and get the most attention, which is really sad way of seeing it. But
It's
for an
also
educated
where
person,
she's come from. I mean, she's come from the armed forces. That's where her upbringing has been, or her her development as an adult. I mean, a lot of stuff she would have gone through a lot of pressure in that environment.
Mon?
I feel really sad because I'm not a feminist, but I like to support women.
That's an interesting comment. You're not a feminist.
Well, I don't like to be, I'm not, how do I put this, Gary? I want to support Jackie, but I can't because she's an idiot.
Oh, it's got nothing to do with her sex. It's about her comments and her views.
disgusting.
Exactly, but I feel that women aren't treated equally, and I feel that, especially in our political system, they really don't get a fair go. But given this, nobody's told her to say these terrible things, and she said them. She's offered some personal information.
But no one's told her not to say them.
No
one's given her any media guidance.
Do you think she can mature with guidance?
Do you need media guidance to not talk about, the size of a man?
We'll ask Karalee that question. Does she need media guidance?
Absolutely. Media training 101.
Yes.
I just think it's a really sad thing. She has an opportunity to be a role model for a new generation of women. She isn't. Contrast Senator Lambie with Julie Bishop on the world stage this week, the last couple of weeks.
Did well.
No comparison whatsoever. And I just think it's appalling. I mean, everyone got their knickers in a knot about Tony Abbott giving a wink-wink over a grandma on a sex line with
So it does happen to men?
It does, but I'm just saying, I don't think the lady has the intellect that she needs, and I think it's disgusting. I mean, she's having conversations like that with her 22-year-old son. What's she doing for the next generation?
Do you think she can get better?
No, definitely not. And the fact that Clive Palmer hasn't backed her up, I agree with Suzie. He's just thinking, yay, the heat's off me, and Jackie's going to take it all.
Do you like this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy of a long trees?
Yes, I do.
Let's see, Mon, do you like this letter?
No, I'm going for our first letter.
Our first letter was... I can't remember. Dawn. Oh, you poor old Dawn.
Yeah.
Okay, which one are you?
Dawn too.
Letter 1, Dawn.
And letter 1.
Oh, Karalee, you're outvoted.
That's okay.
Coming out to Dawn of... Where's Dawn? She's in Parkerville in WA, a pair of limited edition sunnies, courtesy of Alon Treves. We've got to disappear. See you later, Mon.
Hey, Gary,
But
thanks
guess
for
what?
having me. Yeah,
Well, that's all right. We're going to get you all back next week. If you
Excellent.
If you can make it and the parking's not an issue and the studio's functional, etc. Will we see you next week?
We love it here. Thank you.
Karalee, will we see you next week?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for
Did you
having me.
enjoy your first night?
I loved it.
Fantastic. Good. Suzie.
Yes.
All right, if we can extract you from that island, can we have you back next week?
Seriously, Gary. Yes, you can extract.
Mon. Anita, can I get some dancing lessons in the week between?
Yes, we can have a little. Yeah, you can open the show with a cha-cha.
No chance. No chance. Thank all of our wonderful panellists. Thank our wonderful crew, and thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. Dancing lessons.